I want to bring in Duncan D. He's a former COO of Air Canada, and you've been pretty vocal on this issue, Mr. D. You say this rests solely on the shoulders of the federal government. Why do you say that?
Well, because the two services that are causing the bottlenecks at the airports, not just at Pearson, but also Vancouver and Montreal, are federal responsibilities. It's airport security, which is the Canadian Air Transport Security Agency, or CATSA, and Customs and Immigration, which is the Canada Border Services Agency, which is CBSA. So the federal government is entirely responsible for what is taking place at the three largest airports in the country.
So as a former airline exec, explain to me how it happens. I'm flying in on a plane, say either from the US or international, and then I'm told that my plane, I have to sit on my plane for an hour. Why would that be?
So what's happening at the airports now is these airports were never built to handle the types of the amount of time it's taking to clear the travelers. So you've got a huge bottleneck at customs, and there is simply not enough space for travelers to get off the plane and get into the queues. So what they've done in Toronto is a process called metering. And what that means is an aircraft lands. Most of the time it's parked somewhere off the terminal, and at some point they're told to come to the terminal. When they get to the terminal, the doors are opened and the announcement is made that travelers can come off either 10 at a time or 50 every 30 minutes or something like that, because they can't handle the crush of people in the customs hall.
I see. So there's a domino effect.
It's a domino effect that starts with that and results in delayed flights, missed connections, and canceled flights. And there simply aren't enough staff or aircraft to handle all these delays.
So the government says they've hired, what, 400 CATSA employees and border agents, and they're using summer students. Are you saying that's not enough? Like, why don't they just hire more?
Well, it's a simple math problem. In May, where they had significant lines, in April, this started at the start of April. And the fact that the minister is talking about adding staff for the end of June is really quite something. So, he's a little late to the party. And I'm not even sure if he's bringing the right gifts, because, 400 staff represents about 6 or 7% of the staffing that they had in May and April. And the traffic that's about to start hitting the airport is between 22 and 24% more than it was in April and May. So when you're increasing your staff by 6 or 7%, but traffic is increasing 3 or 4 times that, I'm not quite sure what the minister thinks he's going to be able to accomplish.
Yeah,
he says he's very confident.
Yeah,
but so I'll we'll see what happens.
You say it is math, and those figures, you're right. It doesn't sound like it will help alleviate the issue anytime soon. Will lifting COVID protocols make a difference, Mr. D, as some have called for?
It'll certainly help with the arrivals, because what's happening now at the airports is it's taking 4 times longer for travelers to be processed through customs and immigration by the officers, 4 times longer. So before the pandemic, it was taking about 30 to 60 seconds per traveler to get through customs and immigration. Now it's taking 4 times longer than that, but they haven't increased the number of staff 4 times. So these are the government's own imposed inspection mandates,
right,
and they can't process it anywhere efficiently.
In their defense, and I ask this question only because, are there people to hire? There seems to be a labor shortage for certain jobs. People have left that industry. To bring them back may take retraining. Also, there are COVID protocols in place. If people aren't double vaccinated or triple vaccinated, in some cases, perhaps they can't return. How much of that is a factor?
Well, it's certainly a factor, but it shouldn't be a factor only in Canada, where we seem to be having bigger trouble than anywhere else. I mean, air travel is a global industry. It's not something that's just uniquely Canadian. The problems that the minister keeps on raising seem to be uniquely his. The thing that was revealed yesterday was that the Canadian Air Transport Security Agency, they had internal numbers that showed that the number of travelers would increase 300 to 400% from 2021 in 2022. And so if they knew that in January, why are they only starting to hire them for the end of June?
Duncan D., former COO of Air Canada, thanks for your insight. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Okay.